time, when I'm talking to people, a lot of the time they talk about the negative things that have been said to them and the negative connotations, the range of expectations placed on them. And I wonder and observe that actually if we were more positive to each other and we start from the base of what our children, our siblings do that's positive, that actually would build self-esteem rather than actually cause very poor self-esteem. I look at it, I'm afraid, from my social work perspective, when I look at the interaction between families and parents and their children, and that constant chastisement. If you live in South London, you'll recognise wandering around the supermarket only to hear a mother be incredibly negative to a child, and that just builds. So in very simple terms, I think we need to think about what's positive about each other and build that. I'd also say as adults we can do the same. I remember when my father was dying of cancer, I thought about the network of friends I've got. And I've got some really good friends who are great to sit down and talk. And will let you talk till the cows come home. And then I've got some other friends that are really good at just taking you to the pub and going dancing. And I think the thing for me is, what we can do as adults is think about what is it that we might need that might be useful to us when we're having a difficult time. Is it that conversation, that sharing, or is it someone just to take us out and have a really good time in a way that we enjoy, going to a gallery, to the theatre, whatever. If we know a bit about what supports us and helps us to feel good about ourselves, we can then start to sort of build that in the way that we are and the way that we live our lives.
Can I add something? I will talk to you now as a mother. What I didn't say when I stood up is that I'm the mother of 2 adult young women. I have a daughter who's almost 25 and a daughter who's 21 and a half. And they've grown up in this culture. And as I was saying to Ian over lunch, one of the challenges of the young people today who are part of the BAME community is that they're the products of 2 cultures. And sometimes those cultures do not sit together. They're part of the British English culture, but they also have their other culture, whether it's African or Asian, etc. And a lot of times they feel very, very pulled. I'm going to talk to you now as a mother, not as a psychiatrist or anything else. I think the first thing that we have to do as parents to our young people to reduce the likelihood of mental illness is to have positive regard for our children. We also need to have unconditional love. I do not always like everything that my daughters have ever done. But one thing I can tell you is that if you were to call either one of them today, they would know that Mummy doesn't always like what we've done, but she loves us unconditionally. The other thing I think that we have to do is not to have unrealistic expectations. You know, people are wired differently. My younger daughter, for example, is very scientifically based. My elder daughter is very creative. You know, I treat them differently. You know, I love them equally, but I treat them differently. So understanding the personalities of your kids and not having unrealistic expectations. I think as parents we need to learn to listen more and speak less. And I think that we need to provide a secure environment. I'd like to think now that no matter what my children did, good, bad or ugly, they will be able to come home and talk to me. I also think it's important for us who come from this BAME culture to understand the environment that they grew up in. My children or my daughters are exposed to things I was never routinely exposed to. Drugs, alcohol, pornography, etc., etc., etc. And as parents, especially in the BAME, we can be very blinkered. I've made it a duty to educate myself so I understand what they're facing, and I also made myself approachable so my children can talk to me about anything, and I mean anything. And your children must know that no matter what they discuss with you, you're not going to be shocked, and you're not going to freak out, and you're not going to be critical, which is why I come back to that, you know, personal positive regard. And if you provide that kind of environment where you understand them, they can speak to you, they can confide in you, and you understand the pressure that they are going through, which are different from yours, you're likely to reduce the risk of developing mental illness. Thank you for that question.
Thank you. Next,